The story begins in the Amazon jungle, where people are destroying the forest and cutting down all the trees. This also ruins the homes of the local tribal people. Next, we see a girl named Justine at an American university. She's with her roommate and goes to class. The teacher talks about places where cruel traditions still happen to tribal people, especially African women. Justine is shocked and a little scared. After class, when Justine is alone, a man gives her a plate and invites her to a meeting, saying Alejandro sent him. Alejandro leads a college group that travels to different countries to protect the environment. He is a passionate activist who is always on a mission. Justine is interested in social work, so she goes to the meeting that evening. Alejandro tells the group they will go to the Amazon to protect a local tribe. A big company is cutting down the forest to find oil, which threatens the tribe. The company is using retired soldiers. Alejandro says they must stop the company and live stream the protest to show the world. The goal is to get media attention, make people protest, and force the company to leave. Justine is moved by this mission and decides to go with them. The rest of the group agrees too. The next day, Justine calls her dad, who's a lawyer at the UN, and lies that she's going on a trip with her friends. Justine and the others meet Alejandro's friend, who is funding the trip. They get on a private plane and take off. After landing, they take a rickshaw to a hotel, eat, and rest. Then they get on a boat and head toward the Amazon jungle. Once in the jungle, they put on the same uniform and go to the company's site. They chain themselves to trees and bulldozers and wear masks. They take out their phones, start recording, and begin their protest. A private military crew arrives to remove them, but everyone is chained and locked, except Justine, whose lock is broken. A soldier grabs her, threatens her with a gun, and she begins crying. She begs Alejandro for help, but he and the others are busy filming. He even tells the soldier, "Go ahead and kill her. Her dad's a lawyer at the UN. Then we'll see what happens." Soon, the group's live video goes viral. The media pressure forces the military to release them, and the company stops its work. The police arrive and take the group, but Alejandro's friend pays them to let everyone go. They get on their private plane and celebrate. Alejandro says their video went viral, and everyone is happy. But Justine feels used because the mission saved the group, not the tribe. Suddenly, the plane's engine fails. The pilot loses control, and the plane crash lands in the dense jungle. 2 people fall out, and many die, including the pilots and Alejandro's friend. Survivors are injured, and there are dead bodies and blood everywhere. Justine and a few others survive, scared and unsure what to do. Their phones have no signal. Then they hear noises in the jungle. Alejandro's girlfriend investigates but is hit by an arrow. Alejandro tries to help her but is shot in the head and dies. Tribal people, thinking the group is their enemy, shoot the survivors with arrows and knock them out. They take them on a boat to their village. These tribal people have red paint on their bodies and look terrifying. They take Justine's group to their leaders. On the way, they pull the group's hair, scaring them. The group sees dead bodies hanging and realizes this is a cannibal tribe. A female tribal leader with yellow paint arrives, and the tribal people stop. She locks everyone in a cage. Alejandro has his phone, but there's no signal. One of their friends is taken outside. The female leader gives him a liquid to drink, then has him lie on a rock. A male tribal leader cuts off his hands, feet, and head. The tribal women cook the body and eat it. The group is terrified, and one girl vomits, making the others mock her. At night, the group talks. They realize that if they hadn't come to stop the company, they wouldn't be in this situation. Alejandro admits he and his friend only brought everyone here for money. A rival company paid them to make the first company leave. Alejandro also says he brought Justine because her dad is a UN lawyer who could save them if needed. Everyone is furious at him. The next day, Justine sees a girl standing in front of her and plays a tune on her flute-like necklace. Then the male tribal leader brings 3 girls out of the cage. The female leader checks to see who is a virgin using a test involving their private parts. They find out that Justine hasn't been with anyone, so they put the other 2 girls back in the cage and take Justine to a hut. The people in the cage say, "We can't just die like this, we have to do something." But the tribal guards are watching them, so they can't escape. Then, a guy gets an idea. He puts a ringtone on Alejandro's phone and throws it far away. A guard hears the ringtone and goes in that direction. Just then, a girl gets out of the cage with the help of her friends and runs away. A little later, the tribal people put Justine back in the cage. She has weird paint marks on her body and face. She can't remember what happened because she was knocked out. The tribal people bring them food. One girl looks in her bowl after eating and sees a piece of someone's skin with a tattoo. She realizes the tattoo belongs to the friend who ran away, but they caught her, killed her, and the tribe was eating her. Saddened, the girl smashes her bowl and cuts her own throat with a piece of the broken bowl, killing herself. The tribal people are about to take her body to eat it, so a guy puts some weed from his pocket into the dead girl's mouth. When the tribe eats her, they get high. Some pass out and some get dizzy. Seeing this chance, Justine and a guy named Daniel get out of their cage. Alejandro punches one of his friends and knocks him out because he thinks if his friend escapes with them, the tribal people will catch and kill him. Alejandro also believes that when the second company comes to cut down trees, they'll save him. So he stops his friend from leaving, hoping the tribal people will eat him first, and Alejandro can survive longer. Justine and Daniel leave him behind and run away. When the friend wakes up, he sees two tribal people laughing next to him. Thinking they are high, he tries to talk his way out, but they start cutting off his hand and eating it. He tries to run, but the tribal people surround him and, being high, eat him alive. Meanwhile, Justine and Daniel keep going and reach the river. They see smoke from the plane crash, which is where they are heading. Justine accidentally falls into the river and is swept away, but she grabs a rock, and Daniel saves her using a tree branch. They continue and reach the crash site at night. They see the dead bodies of their friends hanging. The tribe hung them. Justine hears a phone ringing from a dead friend's pocket. They go over and get it, but the tribal people come and knock them out. The next morning, Justine wakes up and sees they are preparing her for a ritual. Daniel is tied to a pole, being beaten and having his arms and legs broken. A mixture is put on his clothes and ants bite him. He screams in pain. The female leader comes to do something to Justine's private parts according to the village ritual. A tribal man suddenly announces that some people have come to cut down the trees. Everyone grabs weapons to fight them. Meanwhile, some kids watch Alejandro. The little girl that Justine played the flute for unties her rope. She runs to Daniel, who is in so much pain from the ant bites. Justine wants to save him, but he just wants to die. The little girl knocks him out and kills him with a knife. Justine leaves with the little girl. Alejandro begs her to help him, but she runs away. The little girl leads Justine out of the jungle, and Justine gives her the flute necklace as a thank you gift. Another little girl and her dad try to catch Justine. The path is dangerous because of a jaglion, a mix between a jaguar and a lion. The tribal people don't follow her because they are scared of it. Justine is lucky. The jaglion is resting after hunting, so it doesn't attack her. She manages to escape. Later, Justine sees soldiers shooting the tribal people. She raises her hands, shouts that she is American, and pretends to film them on her phone. The soldiers stop and call a helicopter. The pilot asks if anyone else is there. Justine lies and says no. She gets in the helicopter and goes home. A few days later, government officials ask her questions. She says all her friends died in the plane crash and that she barely survived. She lies, saying the tribal people cared for her and didn't hurt her, because she fears that if she tells the truth about cannibalism, the government would kill them and destroy the Amazon. Later, Justine gets a call from Alejandro's sister. She says a satellite image shows Alejandro is still in the jungle with black paint on his body. This means he might have joined the tribe. And that's how the movie ends. If you were in Justine's place, would you have helped Alejandro or left him behind like she did? Why? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.